Hey guys, welcome back. This video has been a long time coming. I've been waiting for this day for quite some time. It's time to put my avocado tree into soil. It's been 7 months since I first made my avocado boats to try a better way of propagating avocados because it's so hard when you use toothpicks over a cup to keep the water level the same. And this way they float in the water so they're always perfectly balanced in the amount of water there is. The first one I tried to propagate actually split open and it managed to grow. And since the last update I did about 5 months ago, I've gotten rid of the other half and it's just one half of the pit growing, and the plant is growing tall, the roots are getting long and thick, and there's always constantly new leaves streaming out. Supposedly you're supposed to wait until the stem gets to be about 6 inches tall and then cut it back down to 3 and wait until there's new leaves sprouting. But I don't think that happens in nature, and I was too nervous to try it because I just want this tree to grow. So I've just waited. The stem is, I don't know, 10 inches long. And the roots are thick, like I said, and there's new leaves coming in. So I'm gonna test my luck. I'm gonna put it in soil in a pot because unfortunately our Dracania messengiana tree, which we've had for 2 or 3 years, has been slowly dying ever since we got it. And it's finally kicked the bucket. So that pot has become available, some fresh real estate. I've tried a few other propagations for avocado pits that haven't worked, but I do have another one in there with the tree right now that I think is working, and a second one in my kitchen in a bowl of water that is starting to split, and I think it's gonna work too. And I wanna get it in the glass in a boat to do properly. So I gotta get this tree out. So that's what we're doing today. It's the perfect day. We're doing a big clean. So it's not a big deal if we get dirt everywhere, make a bit of a mess because we gotta clean anyways. So here's your next avocado update. We're putting the tree in the soil. So I mean, the obvious first step here is to get rid of the Dracania messengiana tree. It's been dying, so we're gonna pull that out and put it off to the side so I can take it out and dispose of it properly later. And then we're gonna just test out the situation with the soil here. It's a little bit dry and compact and chunky, so we're gonna kind of break it up and see what we're working with. Another reason why I wanted to use this pot is because of the size. Now, avocado trees grow wide root systems and not deep root systems, and they absorb most of the moisture from the soil closer to the top where the roots spread out. So you need at least a 10-inch wide pot. And you can see here while I'm mixing this soil up that there's regular potting soil with perlite in it, as well as a light brown stuff which has coconut husk mixed with a cactus medium, which is to allow wet soil that is well draining, which is important for Dracania messengiana trees as well as avocado trees. And also at the bottom of this pot I do have some punched out plastic pieces to act as a draining spot. I'll link the TikTok on that in the description. Once I have this all mixed up, I want to get a lot of this old soil out of there because I'm going to put some fresher, better soil in. So I'm just going to scoop a lot of it out into this old pot to make some room for the new stuff, which we'll get to in a second. Before we get that new fresh soil, we got to make room. I want the plant and the new fresh soil to be in the middle. So I'm going to pour water in this pot and get the existing dirt turned into a mud, and I'm going to compress it against the sides of this pot so that it creates that cavity in the middle. So before we get this tree in the soil, we're going to clean up the roots in the ball system because there's a lot of algae that has grown from being on the windowsill in the sun. So we're just going to take the old avocado boat off, chuck that, and then run it under some warm water. And I'm going to use my hands to get rid of a lot of that algae, and then I'm going to grab a stiff bristled brush and kind of scrub the rest off because we want to get as much of that off as possible in case it rots or gets moldy, and to allow the most absorption of water that we can. And once we get that clean, it's time to get that tree into the pot. So I'm going to hold it. You want the avocado pit, the ball, to be about half, maybe a little bit more than half underground, but not completely. So I'm just going to hold it above in the middle in the spot where I want. Let those deep roots dangle down, and I'm just going to start putting soil in slowly to allow for it to build up and to let the roots kind of sit where they want until we build that soil up to the level where we want it. And then we're going to take some water and kind of pour it in, water it, make sure all the soil in the pot is wet because we want the roots to stretch out as far as possible to get as long and as strong as possible. And we're also going to use that water to tamp down the soil that's in there. This is going to happen no matter what once you water it, so you might as well get a little bit of it done now and then add the extra soil on top to make sure that there is the appropriate amount of soil in the pot. Now it's time to put that avocado at home. They do really well in full or partial sun, though they do best with about 6 hours of direct sunlight a day. This is the best spot in our apartment for that, on this plant stand near this big window where the majority of our plants live. And we're just gonna see how it grows here and rotate it as needed. And there you have it, our avocado tree has finally made it into the soil. Very exciting. Now that our tree is in its soil and home and happy, we're gonna move on and continue to try and propagate some more trees. We're gonna clean the pits. We're gonna take apart the old avocado boats, and we're gonna clean up the corks and discard the old toothpicks. And we're gonna take the big glass bowl and clean that out too, because we want a nice, clean, happy home for our next two pits that are gonna be floating around in there. And once that's done, we're gonna rebuild some more boats. If you wanna watch the video on that, it'll be linked in the top. And once we get that all sorted out and built, we're gonna plop them back in the bowl and go set it on the windowsill so they can try and grow and propagate. Just to see what happens, I'm gonna put the other half of that tree's avocado pit in this thing of water and just see if maybe it'll root. I kind of have my doubts, but it's another fun project. We'll update that too. Well, I'm fired up about getting that avocado tree in the soil. I've been waiting a long time. It's been years and years since I had an avocado tree growing in soil, and I'm hoping I can keep this one alive long enough. If you like what you saw or found this interesting, hit like and leave me a comment. If you have any tips or tricks of your own for any plant stuff or propagation, leave me a comment on that too. Be sure to check out the first two videos in this avocado project series. And figure out how I did it, and if you're interested to see how well it goes, if I can get this tree to grow bigger and longer, and how well I'm going to be propagating the next ones, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Those updates are coming. They will be in a couple months because growing plants takes a long time. And don't forget to check out the rest of the videos on the channel. Lots of other fun stuff you can do inside and out. Take care. I'll catch you on the next video.